Next up is Elizabeth from Detroit Mom talking about family management.
I'm Elizabeth Lewis with Detroit Mom. I also have two other moms on here because, as you probably can imagine, the mom community, we all do things so differently. And with Detroit Mom, we have about 70 writers, and then all of those women, we give a space and a voice. So we get to see firsthand, not only from our social media, but from our writers, how differently we parent. So insert this COVID-19, and for myself, I know some of the questions that they had asked, how are we talking to our kids about this? Mine's a little bit different because my life hasn't changed. My husband works in the medical field, so he's still at home or he's still at work. And so the kids don't know anything different. They actually think they're more on spring break. And so it's not anything crazy in our house right now, which is really nice. And so, that's a little bit, obviously that's different for us, whereas the other girls you'll hear from really quick, theirs is completely different than mine. And then how I'm working from home is actually, I once listened to a speaker that said that when you work from home with your kids, moms tend to have so much on or interrupted time that you might have 13 hours or 12 hours, say 12 hours of completely interrupted time where you're trying to get on a phone call, but you're trying to feed a kid, you have someone screaming at you. Whereas I kind of made a point to work during the day and then have the time with my kids. I'd rather have 2 or 3 intentional hours with them and know that when I get home, I'm not going to work, or when I'm done working and shut my computer, I'm not going to work. And they remember those versus me being a really scattered brain mom and screaming at them constantly, because that does happen, especially when you're trying to juggle running a business and you have employees or you have writers or you have people that need you all day long, and then you're trying to also be there for your family. So those are kind of things I've just learned to work early or work late. So right now, I'll spend 2 or 3 hours with my kids, and then they'll go to bed, and then I'll work as long as I have to. I'm not sleeping. I don't know about any of you guys, but I'm not sleeping because it is the unknown. Like, I just don't even know what it is. It's craziness. But so that's kind of where I'm at. But I have other moms on here that are doing things completely different. So Shannon Phillips is a lawyer, and I'm going to mute myself. And so she has 2 older kids, so she has a different perspective on what she's doing. I do want to say really quick there, like for educational things, if you do have kids, the zoos that are doing the lives is like so amazing. I'm so into it. Or there's like all of these things also that you guys can do. Like, you guys can learn with your kids. There's some pretty cool stuff. So I'll let Shannon talk. I will go ahead and mute myself.
Hey guys, so I'm going to jump in and follow up on what Beth said. So I am a part of the Detroit Mom team and have been working closely supporting Beth and the Detroit Mom community for a couple years now, and her mission. And if you guys aren't familiar with Detroit Mom, I would highly encourage you, whether or not you have kids or not, because one of our huge mission is connecting moms and local women with local and small businesses. And right now, in our big mission is community and local community. And so right now, and we are completely virtual, really all the time. And so right now, we are a great platform for you if you guys have any of course right now, any needs in that regard. So reach out to Beth, myself, check out Detroit Mom on all your social media platforms, because we are really able to help you in that regard. But with respect to the parenting factor, it is crazy right now. I mean, one day our kids were in school, next they're not, and we're all working from home. So for those of you that have kids, the family management factor has literally changed overnight. My kids, and also, so other than Detroit Mom's business manager, I am also a full-time attorney. I'm senior counsel at Bowman and Brook here in Bloomfield Hills. And I am now, as you can see from the background, working from my couch. My husband also works full-time, and he is in the upstairs office. My son is over here at a workstation, like a real desk. And my son's in 3rd grade, and my daughter is in 7th grade. She's upstairs working from her room. So I kind of have a command center set up here in the family room, because I figured I'm kind of the control center. And my kids need normalcy and routine. And what I want to tell you is, and Alyssa Tangney, who's also going to just touch with you guys briefly. She has 4 kids, about to have 5 of younger age ranges. I know she wants to tell you guys to like have grace, take it day by day, hour by hour, be forgiving with yourself and others. My kids need a routine. I literally, last weekend when we heard about all this shutdown and we were all going to be working from home, put together a day, like a schedule, an actual schedule that my kids, with possibilities from school, from all these amazing online resources, reach out into your community. All these parents are coming up with free educational resources. And I put them all into a spreadsheet, emailed them to my kids, and now they're almost working independently. And then they can come to me in my little couch command, center here for help when they need it. But they're working pretty independently and learning new skills. And they have a sense of normalcy and routine, even though it's pretty crazy. So that's kind of the key, is that we can all be adaptable. Give yourself some grace, and the human and social interaction, just like with our businesses and things like we're doing right now, is really important. So encourage your kids to still be doing, getting on FaceTime, getting on Google Chats and Google Hangouts with their friends. That's really important. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Alyssa real quick because she has some good stuff for little kids.
Hi, I'm Alyssa. I will be quick. I have a zoo running downstairs. I have a 6-year-old, a 3-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 1-year-old. And life got flipped upside down. And now all of a sudden I have little kids asking what we're doing all the time. I highly recommend you check out Detroit Mom. There are constantly new resources going up, which is amazing because that's what I'm using right now. Screen time kind of went out the window, and that's okay. We just are kind of living on grace right now. What I do that I really find helpful is I prep everything the night before. I sit down for about 20 minutes and kind of come up with like a morning, afternoon, and evening thing that we're doing. I open up a browser on my computer and I have different tabs so that I can just pop it open and say, hey, we're going to work off of this morning. This is afternoon. And you don't have to be loaded up with a bunch of homeschool material to make it work. We're doing art on coffee filters. We are counting things and drawing on paper that's taped to the wall. It's just kind of what works. And we will find our groove as we're doing this and leaning on other moms to kind of learn what they're doing Zoom chats like this. It's awesome. So I definitely think give yourself some grace. Life got flipped upside down and we are not expected to be teachers full time.
Thank you so much to Elizabeth, Shannon, and Alyssa. We really appreciate all of your help.